heat waves and retrogrades. Heat waves and retrogrades. Hi everyone, thank you for your patience. I've missed you a lot. I really miss doing these readings, but life got in the way. I had a bunch of projects. I'll get to that in a second, but I had a bunch of projects. Some worked out, some were in progress, some fell through. So that was the main thing. There was also schedule changes at work and getting sick and all of that stuff. And my free monthlies had to take a back seat. I read every comment, even though I can't get to them all. I really appreciate every comment, and my heart skips a beat every time my videos get thumbed up or someone subscribes. And the community is really important to me because I get a chance to help you guys, and it's therapy for me too. I think it's therapy for us all. It's group therapy, and I love connecting with everyone. Thank you so much for the personal readings. Thank you so much for just reaching out, just emailing me and connecting with me. It means a lot. It really does. And as a special thank you, I have a Morgan-GREER Tarot in a Tin that I'm giving away to one viewer. Stay tuned until the end and I will tell you how to get your Morgan-GREER Tarot in a Tin. I want to give some quick shameless plugs. I told you I had a lot of projects. First one is I was lucky enough to work with Alex on his Dionysian Dialectics podcast. And in one episode we talked about tarot and astrology, so you'll definitely want to check that out. I'll link it in the description box below. And in another episode we talked about the Roseanne Barr controversy. If you are not familiar, I work in film and TV in my day job. I have done this pretty much my whole life. It's my life purpose. It's all over my astrological chart. But if you would like more film and TV videos, let me know. But in any case, we talked about the Roseanne Barr controversy and how it deals with television and media. The other project I did was I got to work with the lovely and talented Liokness, and she is a singer-songwriter, and I had the privilege of doing a music video for her. It's still in progress. It's a very ambitious project that I was underestimating. I need help. If you were in the LA area, I have some gigs that I could use to outsource some of this legwork in the art department, but I was so honored to work for her. I love her music. I think she's really talented. I will link, not the song that we did the music video for, but I'm gonna link a song called The Psychic, oddly enough, because it's a good message about the obsession we can have with the outcome of psychic readings. And with that said, these are general readings. When we look at these tarot videos as a way to see if that boy is going to call or see if we're going to get that job, then it creates this obsession. In the song, The Psychic, she said that she made a deal with the devil. You make a deal with the devil whenever you fixate on these outcomes. So keep in mind that in these general readings that this is more therapy, that this is more about unearthing emotional and spiritual things we have within ourselves, and try not to look at it as a need to find out what's going on. Sometimes God creates uncertainty and mystery because he has, big surprises for us, big miracles for us. So with these general readings, be gentle on me and be gentle with yourself sometimes, because we are dealing with emotional things. Some things get brought to the surface and they're triggered and people lash out, but I would encourage you to use sweet words with each other, use sweet words with me, even if you want to give me constructive criticism. We want positive, happy vibes, right? We want to elevate to our highest spiritual evolution, and we cannot be cruel to each other, right? So I love it when you guys help each other out in the comments, and I love positive vibes, and let's keep it up there. Without further ado, let's get on to your July readings. Hi Libra, let me adjust this real quick. It's driving me a little crazy. I need balance. I'm a Libra, and whenever I was growing up, I had a friend who used to drive me crazy. She was another Libra too, and whenever we would want to drink, like
a Sprite or something, she would take like 2 glasses and like fill each glass with Sprite and make sure that they were perfectly even, and I was like, come on, I just want to drink my Sprite. So if something's like out of alignment, then Libras tend to freak out, right? Welcome back. I am glad to be back. I missed you guys. I missed doing these readings, but I had other things to do. Life got in the way. But really glad to be back. I have a new spread for you. Pretty excited about it. Let's get into it. So the heart of the matter, we have the Queen of Rods reversed. You could be dealing with an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. The Queen of Rods is someone who, she has a temper, so if she doesn't get her way, then she, like, burns every bridge imaginable. Particularly, it could be a Leo, because we have the sunflower here, so sun, Leos are ruled by the sun, but let's talk it through. Let's talk it through. The, Queen of Rods reverse can also be a little bit of a, hoe to me, so let's just see how the other cards play out. We have it crossing underneath the bottom of the deck. Ooh, girl, look at this. Underneath the bottom of the deck, we have, that's the Ten of Cups. We have the King of Cups, so we're going to cross this energy. The King of Cups is the ultimate baby daddy. Could be dealing with Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, but this is a guy who, ultimate husband, ultimate father, ultimate, partner, right? He is very loving. He can sort of sense your feelings and, know what is inside of you before you might even know, right? And he is very sensitive. He'll like tear up at movies, and he welcomes everyone in his home, and he really like listens to you whenever you have a problem. He doesn't pretend to listen just to get his way. Like, he's really invested in you. So let's see. This is your beginning and your end. So this is what you're coming into this cycle with, and this is what is leaving this cycle. I also want to say that I did another reading for you guys, and the technology kind of crapped out. I always feel the Mercury retrograde energies a little bit before, like in their shadow period. Like, I seem to feel it worse in the shadow period. So your other video didn't, it had some glitches, and I've been, because I'm a Libra too, I've been watching other tarot videos, and I noticed that they had to redo a lot of our Libra videos. So maybe it's something about Libra. I'm feeling like a fickle energy that we have sometimes, that it's like the first message or the first couple messages just cannot get out. Anyway, so what we are starting this cycle with, and what is going to be an end of this cycle, is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card about putting your plans into motion. It's kind of like a dreamy sort of card, but in a, like, it's more practical than a Seven of Cups, but it's like looking out onto the horizon. See, he has it's usually like a world that they have, like a globe in their hand, and so it's like, you got the whole world in your hand. So lots of possibilities, right? And they're usually looking out onto a horizon. Here, it's interesting because we have 2 hands right here, so it's like, it's making me think like contracts, it's making me think partnerships, it's making me think I feel like this is more like creatively and professionally rather than love. It's kind of like, let's make a deal, right? Let's shake hands. Let's sign this business partnership. I'm also noticing these flowers on this shield. So lots of abundance, lots of growth, lots of potential for creation. Interesting. To clarify, we have the Page of Rods reversed. So again, you could be dealing with an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. And we have the Two of Swords. So it's interesting because we have the Two of Swords and the Two of Wands. 2 twos, right? The Two of Swords is a card about making a choice. So you could be in like negotiations with someone or a partnership with someone, and you have to make a choice, or you have made a choice. We'll go through the wheel and see what is taking place. But this person, she's blindfolded, and whenever I see this card about making a choice, it's kind of like, it's like your pros and cons list, like there's equal pros and there's equal cons, so you have to be blindfolded and kind of like use your intuition, use your heart, use your better judgment, because a pros and cons list isn't going to cut it. So again, you could be dealing with an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, and the Page of Rods reversed. Like, the Page of Rods is my girls just want to have fun card. So it's a card about wanting to have fun. And in this business partnership, this creative negotiation, whatever this is, you could have been going into it, wanting to have fun, right? It might be you have a side project or something that, you might, work a full-time job, and like the job sucks the life out of you. So you go into these like side hustles thinking like, I want to have some fun and make some money. But unfortunately, this Page of Rods is reversed. And when the Page of Rods is reversed, this is someone who, if they're not having fun, then they act out. They throw a temper tantrum. And this could be your energy, but I'm feeling like it's someone else's energy. But basically, it's a kid, because pages are children, pages are youthful, pages are little ones. They can be our inner children, like our inner child, or they could be actual children. So this could be a child that you're dealing with, but this is someone who, if they don't get their way, they'll like set a picnic table on fire, Like, it's a very destructive person. But it's to their own detriment, right? Because if they throw a tantrum, then they end up burning bridges. Did I say something about this Queen of Rods burning bridges? But tempers are flaring, and because we have Mars in retrograde, you could definitely see people like losing their minds, losing their shit. In April, April is ruled by Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. So in April, I started having these experiences. Fill me in if you're another Libra who has had these experiences too. But I started having these clashes in April with Mars energy. My cousin, she's a Taurus, but she's on an Aries cusp, so she has a lot of Aries in her. And so it was so crazy because it was like on the day when Mars was transiting my Mars, we had this huge fight. And we forgave each other. It's like family stuff, and bless her heart, I'm so grateful that we have like family to like treat the worst, that we can treat the worst and they'll forgive us, right? And it's worked both ways in that way. But I got into this fight with her, and it helped me work out a lot of inner conflict. So that was like a good result of Mars, right? It's like we had that fight, but because we're family, it was like instant bygones, my own issues. Thank you for helping me work through this. Thank you for forgiving me. But then I had this other Mars interaction that was not so great, and it was creative, it was professionally, and again, it led to some good things, but there were bridges that were burnt. So let me know if you've experienced that too. I know with the Mars energies, especially retrograde, things have been explosive for a lot of people. So let's work through these situations. But first, I need to make my money, so stay tuned and we'll continue after a commercial break. Okay, so the cause, what is going to set this wheel into motion, this is like a karmic wheel, right? So this is a karmic cycle that we're going through. So what sets this into motion, what gets this ball rolling, is the Wheel of Fortune. I like that, girl. I like it. So the Wheel of Fortune, funny, I just got through talking about this karmic wheel, right? The Wheel of Fortune is a card about it's like luck of the draw, right? It's sometimes you win, sometimes you win some, lose some. Sometimes you're at the top, sometimes you're at the bottom. See, we have this couple celebrating at the top, and then this guy falling off the wheel, right? So you just never know. Sometimes you're at the top, sometimes you're at the bottom. And then we have the hand of God coming out. I love this deck, man. We have the hand of God coming out and twisting this wheel. I'm a Libra, like I said, and I hate when things are unfair. We hate when things are unfair, right? But I saw this tweet, like a few months back where it said, if life is unfair, does that mean, I'm paraphrasing and I'm butchering it, but if life is unfair, does that mean that it's fair, that it's unfair to all of us, right? So like, fairness and unfairness are kind of arbitrary, right? It's just kind of like luck of the draw. So that kind of made me feel better whenever I feel like, oh, why is life so unfair? Why can't we all just get along? It's kind of like everyone has to go through some sort of unfairness, so that makes it fair to everyone. I hope everyone's getting my train of thought. But in any case, we're on top of the wheel right now. So we need to optimize these energies, right? We need to capitalize on being on top, because we're not always on top. Sometimes we're at the bottom. We have been on the bottom for a couple years now, right? Ready to get on top of that wheel, ready for it to turn. And it's, so there's a reshifting of energies. There's a reshifting of karmic stuff that we've tied up. I think we have worked on our karmic lessons. We have done a good job. For those of you who haven't, you're going to be this guy flying off the bottom. But if you have put in the work, I think now's the time that the gears are turning, right? And now's our time, baby. Let's see. It's with the Ace of Rods reversed and the Magician reversed. So, yeah, you may have felt like for a long time that you've been trying to manifest these things. You've been like doing the work. You've been putting in everything you could. You've been using all the resources you've had. You've been, using your faith, using your belief in yourself. You've been like really trying, and nothing has seemed to move. The Ace of Rods is a card about action, and so it's like everything we do, all this hard work that we put in, we worked hard, we prayed, we tried to surrender to God, or we did surrender to God, and we did like put in all this effort, and still nothing, right? Still no action. But I think it's all about being at the will of God, and no matter what we do, no matter what efforts we make, it's all in God's hands, right? It's all out of our control. And so if you have not come to this Wheel of Fortune, if you're not on top of the wheel, I think what is required of you is to not do so much, is to not bend over backwards trying to craft what you can, because we've already done that co-creation process, and part of the co-creation process is to trust that God is your co-creator, and that God is going to step in and do half your work. Like, a big lesson for Libras is we should not do all the work, right? We have been doing, like, bending over backwards for people and not getting equity, not getting the effort, the love, the attention, the money that we deserve, that we're worth, that we, all the value that we put in, we have not been getting anything back. And so I think our lesson is to not take on the world, not think that we do have to craft it all, right? That there is some element within the universe that says, it's like God has more surprises for us than we could ever imagine, right? Than we could ever craft. So we can meet God halfway, but sort of surrendering to this mystery and to the surprises of life, the miracles, the blessing, and just like letting go and riding the karmic wheel, that's going to give us better fortune. I like it. So that's what we're setting into motion. This is going to be like our homework. This is our challenge. So let's see. What did I say? Our challenge is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is that equal give and take. The Six of Pentacles is... Oh, dang it. The Six of Pentacles is a card about... am I getting back what I put in? Right? Am I wasting all my time bending over backwards for someone with a temper? Right? Am I bending over backwards and not getting... My dog, I'm so sorry. Honey! Hold on. Okay, sorry about that, Libra. My dog is cray. Let's realign again. And I think that's what we're going through, is alignment, right? Our lesson is realignment. Our lesson is to get back in balance. Our lesson is to have this equal give and take. And what we're learning is, for all the time, effort, money, love that we're putting in, are we getting the same appreciation back? Are we being valued? Are we getting value out of what we're putting our efforts into? And, you know, I also see like an appreciation. I do want to say, I forgot that I have to autofocus, but I really did want you to see the Wheel of Fortune, this hand of God turning this wheel, right? So I think what God is doing right now is realigning us. He is turning this wheel to put us in better alignment with those who are going to give us back what we put in. Love it, love it. And Libra, don't you bend over backwards to help people who aren't gonna who aren't gonna give you back anything of value, right? So we have the Victory card here, the Six of Wands. We have the laurel wreath right here. So this is a success. This is... I feel like this is more like recognition for you, like receiving recognition, receiving praise, receiving someone saying, hey, you're doing a good job. Hey, you are... I see what you're doing. I see the efforts you're making. I see the all this time you're putting into it. I see all the love you give, all the support you give. What is confusing me is this Three of Pentacles, but I think it's not confusing me. I see it now. I think the Three of Pentacles is talking about a lack of teamwork you might have experienced in the past. There goes my dog again. A lack of teamwork you might have experienced in the past, and I feel like you felt like you were doing it all by yourself and not having that support system. The Three of Pentacles is usually a card about working together, a card about teamwork, and in most decks it has several people working on this like stained glass church, on the stained glass in a church. But here it's interesting because we have just one person, right? And so whenever it's reversed, it's like you didn't have an equal support to make this stained glass the best it could be, right? If it's just you, then you only have so much energy, so much time, so much talent to only get so much done, right? You need other people to help you. And so I think the lesson here is to notice the people who do recognize you, to notice the people who do make sure to tell you that you're doing a good job, that they see your efforts, right? That they see you putting in the hard work, and that they, you know, they need to step in and help you. That you need the support. you can't do everything by yourself, right? We need other people. Okay, so the worst it's going to get, the bottom of the barrel, is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is a card about burdens. It's a card about taking on too much. And as a result of taking on too much, you have built this wall around you. And so this goes into having to do everything by yourself, right? This goes into not getting the support, so you're taking on extra burdens. It's not what we should be doing. In the process, you're healing. Yes, okay. So, you're in the process of healing these issues, and it's about, you know how I said, waiting back, like hanging back and waiting for God to give you the gifts, right? So I think we need to be in more of a state of receptivity. When the Empress is reversed, the Empress upright, she's the ultimate domestic goddess. She's ruled by Libra. Or she has a Venus energy, so you could also be dealing with a Taurus or another Libra, but she's Libra and Taurus, and she's the ultimate domestic goddess. She is the ultimate mama, the ultimate wife, and just the queen of the castle. She is fertile and abundant, and she just sits on her throne and waits for her abundance to come in. She doesn't bend over backwards in order to get it. She knows that the world is full of resources and that there's no need to struggle, right? So there's no need to bend over backwards trying to co-create and take on these extra burdens. You need to be more receptive. When she's reversed, it's like there's no growth, there's no creativity, there's no abundance, because it's like, she can also mean like pregnancy. So it's like whenever you're pregnant, you have to wait 9 months, right? You have to eat the right foods. You have to make sure that you do everything the right way, and you create this place where the baby is safe and healthy and happy. You sing to the baby, you nest your home and get it ready for it. So there's all this preparation while the baby is growing, and the baby doesn't just come out like right at conception, right? The baby takes time to get to its full development. So it's like you may have put in all this effort and expected like instant results, but it takes time to gestate. It takes time to get to the big like baby finale, right? And you may not be feeling at your 100%. You may be healing a broken heart. The Three of Swords is a card about heartbreak, loss, grief, pain. I mean, we can see like three swords going through the heart, right? And you may have experienced a third-party situation. You may have experienced it doesn't have to be third-party. It could just be like loss and grief and sadness. And but whenever it's reversed, it's like, it's one of my favorite cards reversed, because it's like the swords are falling out of the heart and you're getting rid of that pain. You've already processed that pain, right? So the worst it's going to get is just feeling overburdened and healing a pain, which is not terrible, right? It's not the worst that it can. I mean, it's like Libras have had worse, right? So I like seeing that that at the bottom. Okay, so the cause of all of this. So we put in the work and nothing happened, and so the wheel is turning. God is reaching out to spin the wheel and break this karmic cycle. We are in a state where we have to wait for We have to be receptive to God's rewards and being on top of the wheel of fortune, right? So this is the cause and this is the effect. This is what set everything into motion, and this is the result of that motion. We have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords can mean different things. Okay. Okay, so you might have a lot of people looking on at you right now. You know, when I see the Magician and the Ace of Rods, it's like you put in so much work and didn't get the benefits of your work, and so it led to this sort of inaction, like, I'm not going to do anything, right? And it's good that we aren't going to do anything, because we have been doing too much. We have been taking on more burdens. We don't need to do anything else, right? And so, as a result of you saying, like, F this, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to take a break, step back, and heal myself, right? It's led to others, I think, looking in on you and kind of being more curious about you than they were before. Maybe they realized that they were taking you for granted. See, this, like, recognition of not working as a team, of you doing everything by yourself, like them recognizing that you have been putting in the work. So the Page of Swords is a card, it's like a spy card, so you could have someone like spying on you on the internet. The Page of Swords is a card about, you know, like I said, the pages are our inner child. And this could be you, but I don't feel like this is your energy. But the Page of Swords, you could also be dealing with another Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius. Page of Swords is someone who, the swords, the air suit, they're about thought, and they're about intellectualism. And so the page, this is someone who is wise beyond their years. They are an old soul, and they're a smart kid, right? But they still don't have all the information. Like, they're a smart kid, but it's like, whenever you're a little kid and you try to talk to your parents about something heavy, you know, like politics or religion, and your parents are just like, go away, kid, you don't know all the details, right? And so it's this feeling of being unheard. It's this feeling of being sometimes interrupted, sometimes misunderstood, like, nobody understands me, I'll just have to go through life alone. So that could be your inner child. But it could also be, and I could definitely see this with this, like, no action, like, you know, screw this. But I do see it as an external energy, because the Page of Swords can also be, again, internet spies and people looking in on you. And it's people, like, it's internet spies and people looking in on you because they do feel neglected, right? Because you did pull back, and because like, it's like you're not giving this anymore, right? It's like, well, where did Libra go? He or she was supposed to give me all of this stuff, and, you know, they kept giving, and now they're not giving. Why aren't they giving anymore, right? So we have the Queen of Cups and we have the Knight of Rods, and this is why I think it's an external energy, because we have two characters right here. Queen of Cups is a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The Queen of Cups is someone who is very loving. She, you know, she's like a sweet mama, takes care of everyone, and she's sensitive, like the King of Cups. I like how they're both upright, and we have a couple here. But she's sweet. She takes care of those around her. She can really intuit your feelings. So it's like whatever you say to her, she can kind of feel her way through the BS, you know. She can sense when someone is putting up a front, trying to be strong. And she has like psychic abilities, intuitive abilities, very warm, caring, tender person. The Knight of Rods, this is someone who is very sexy, very popular, very funny, very just fun, just a fun person. Could be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I definitely get, like I said, the Leo with the sunflower, and I get Aries with the Magician. But this is someone who, kind of life of the party personality, but whenever he's reversed, I often see him as a playa. Like we said, who was the other player? Oh, the Queen of Rods reversed. This is a player, or this is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius that is not at their 100%. It's someone who gives into impulses, gives into temptations, gives into, this is also like one night stand type of person. But it's someone who is, can be in and out of your life. And, we have the Knight, the Queen, and the Page all reversed. So it's like this person, and the Magician reversed. It's like this person, if they can't control their surroundings, they lash out and they're mean to others. And if they can't control their surroundings, like if they feel out of control, then they like micromanage others in like areas that they shouldn't. But in any case, these people are watching you. I think it's multiple people who are watching. Who are watching you. Okay, so the lesson. So this was the homework. This was the challenge. The lesson, what's on the test, what's on our karmic test, is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles reversed is someone who is slow as hell. He's someone who does not make a move, and he is just moving along like a slug. And so let's see what the clarifiers are. We have the Star. I love it. And the Five of Swords reversed. I love that too. Okay, so sometimes with the Star, I say, this is the Wish card. And again, it's a healing card. So we have two healing cards right here. And healing takes time, right? You may think like this Knight of Pentacles is slow as a slug. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, especially Taurus. But this Knight of Pentacles, we get so upset with him because it's just like, when are you ever going to move? And again, it's like this impatience, right? I've been at the bottom of this wheel. When is it ever going to turn? So what I say about the Star is that it's always a wish that will be granted. It is the destiny card. Whatever you're wishing for right now, it's meant to be. It's going to happen. But the thing with the Star is the stars have to align, right? We're talking about alignment. Everything has to come into alignment. The stars have to align to get your wish. So it is a card about divine timing. And this is like this karmic wheel reading it's great that we have the Star and the Wheel of Fortune, because this is all about karmic timing. This is all about right place, right time, when everything is in alignment. And I think you yourself are getting to, like you're getting in better alignment with yourself. But again, that takes time. It's not a fast process. It can be slow. It can be like boring. It can be, can feel like you're never going to come out of it. But it will happen. The stars will align. It will come to you. And I think what's happening now is God is turning the wheel and trying to put, well, I think, one, he's putting people in our lives to kind of test us and see, like, have you learned these lessons? Because I feel like there's been some repetitious energy that, like, it has come back in a different way, and, like, we have had to deal with it differently this time. So I think he is putting people and situations into your life that you need to re-examine, like it's happened before. And I think he's putting entirely new people into your life to sort of test you, to realign you, right? So this is all about realignment. And it is realignment because you are going through a healing process. The Five of Swords is a card about conflict, and it's like petty arguments. I think you are just like done. You're done with petty arguments, right? And before, Libra would stay there and try to solve the petty arguments. They would try to, like, you know, if someone's picking fights with you, we have the Page of Rods reversed, the Queen of Rods reversed, and the Knight of Rods reversed. So that's like tempers flaring. That's that Mars energy. That's people getting angry. And I think before, Libra would have been like, what can I do to make it better? Is it my fault? You know, we're like bending over backwards to try to, like, soothe these fights, right? But I think what we are learning is to sort of be more composed within ourselves and pick our battles, right? If someone is causing unnecessary dramas in our lives, I think we are dropping this fight altogether, right? We are saying, like, I'm not even going to get into your fight, and I'm not even going to help you get out of yours because that's your own issue. It's not my problem. I have enough problems to deal with, right? I have all these burdens, right? And I'm healing. I can't be in your petty drama right now. You're just going to have to figure out what, you know, if you want to continue this fight or not. And that's awesome, because once we say that, you know, I think we are recognizing what battles are ours and what battles we can just, like, drop and get rid of. And so, while we're in that process of dropping these unnecessary battles, I think it's going to help us be more receptive to the good fortune that's coming in, right? Because whenever we concern ourselves in these petty dramas, it only creates more burdens for us. Who needs that? We don't need that. I don't need that. So that's awesome. I also think that this Five of Swords reversed is not only the petty dramas that other people are bringing into our lives that we're saying, nah. I think it's also our internal dramas that we have with ourselves, right? These internal battles of, you know, if things don't quite align, like, again, I'm talking about alignment, but if things don't quite match up, right? So if it's, you know, he says he doesn't love me, but he is, doing, like, his actions show differently, or something like that, right? If we're having these conflicts in our head, or people aren't being, it's like people aren't being 100% transparent, so we have to use, like I said, there's the pros and cons list is, there's an equal amount of pros as there is cons. And it's funny, we have the Three of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Five of Swords. Interesting. So it's like we're healing the Three of Swords, we're left with Two Swords. We're left with a decision that has to be made. I think the decision that has to be made, again, is choosing our battles, and it's not just choosing external battles, but it's choosing what we decide to battle with in our head. It's like, if I don't have all the information, if I'm blindfolded, why am I creating all this conflict in my head? Why am I creating all this drama in my head? There's stuff I don't know, so I'm just making assumptions about things, and it's only creating, like, struggle within myself. Why do that to myself? I love it, Libra. So what we're ending with, what we came in with and what we're ending with, is looking at our partnerships, and I think we need to look at partnerships that have, like, strong handshakes, right? That you can, like, trust this person. Like, not falling into partnerships, whether they're lovers, friends, creative, professional, whatever. Not just kind of settling for what's in front of your face, but choosing relationships, right? Making a decision about relationships that are going to benefit your future, that you can see a future with, that have potential, and not just sort of like this impulsive, yeah, I'll be your friend. Yeah, I'll do this project. Yeah. But having a little more discernment about the relationships we have. I love it, Libra. I love it. Let me know what you think. I will see you next month. I'm really glad to be back, and yes, I love you very much. Bye.
If you would like to win a Morgan-GREER Tarot in a tin, you must be subscribed to me. That's the first thing. You must be a subscriber. You must subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will know if you are subscribed or not. The second thing you must do after you're subscribed, leave a comment about what you love about your sign. You are allowed up to 3 videos, and that will give you 3 different chances to win the Morgan-GREER Tarot in a tin. Meaning, if you have sun, moon, and rising in different signs, then you can leave a comment in each video. Once I hit 2,000 subscribers, I will pull a name out of a hat and send this lovely deck along the way. But again, you must be subscribed, and you must leave a comment about what you love about your sign. You'll want to stay subscribed because I plan on doing these contests with each milestone. So after I hit 2,000, you'll get the Morgan-GREER deck. After I hit 3,000, another deck. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you next month.